So we're going to come on over to our mat and roll down and start some breathing. What a good idea. So let's take some deep inhales and exhales as we put our back down on the mat and feel the shape of our body. So our feet are pressing down, kind of stretch your toes and start to press the low back down. And let's reach the arms up as we do this. So we're going to do this in opposition. Arms come down as the back presses down in some pelvic tilts. And already we're feeling our spine getting a little longer. And when you're ready, start to roll the hips up as you bring the arms down. And take those deep breaths in and out. So we're gently lifting up and one vertebrae at a time, lowering the hips down. And let's do one more and leave the hips up. And take a few deep breaths, lifting the hips a little bit higher. And slow as you can, lower down one vertebrae at a time. So we're activating all the inner organs. We're going to take our hands behind our head and lift the right knee to the left elbow and put that elbow down and then go to the other leg. And start to stretch the diagonal lines on our body. And let's do one more to each leg. And then we're going to lift the knees up and put the feet down. And let's do regular crunches, keeping the elbows wide. So it's really the chest that's lifting up and the head follows the chest. We're going to squeeze our legs together. And on the next time, let's lift the legs all the way up and bend and keep going. And keep breathing. And let's do one more. And then we're going to do bicycles. Nice slow ones. So we're going to stretch the leg out. And a few more. And then last one. And let's put our head down and bring our knees to our chest and make some circles with the hips. and circle in both directions. And we're going to put our feet down and cross the right foot over the left thigh and roll the hips or the legs to the left and reach the right arm out and turn our head to the right and breathe. Feel how the breath is coming into your ribs, opening up your rib cage. And one more breath. And then let's come back to the center and uncross, and then cross the left foot over the right thigh. We're going to do the same thing here. Legs roll to the right, turning the head to the left, reaching the left arm out and breathing. So as we're breathing into our ribs, that's the lower lungs. So feel that lengthening of the breath in the lower lungs. And last deep breath. And then we're going to come back to the center and uncross. And now we're going to lift our hips and put the block underneath there. And feel the difference in the breath. Roll the shoulders down and lift through the chest. And now feel how the breath comes into the upper chest. So we're following the breath from the belly and opening the ribs and lifting the upper chest. Now we're going to take just the right leg up and point and flex a few times. Keep breathing and then make those circles with your right foot. And then circle in the opposite direction. And we're going to point our toes, make some big circles with the right leg. So we really got to press the left foot down. We're engaging the core here. Big circles, go nice and slowly. And then circle in the opposite direction. And one more big circle. Then we're going to cross the right foot over the left thigh and lift the legs up and lower down 10 times. And then one more. And let's put the foot down and uncross. And now we're going to switch legs. So first we're going to take the left leg straight up and point and flex. Going to make those circles with the foot. And circle in the opposite direction. Now let's do our pointing of the toe and then big circles, pressing the right foot down. We're also waking up our hip. And let's go in the opposite direction. And last one. And then cross it over the right thigh. And we're going to do our lifting and lowering 10 times. And if you want to make it a little bit harder, instead of touching the heel down, just hover the heel. Feel how the lower belly is really working. And 2 more. And then let's put the foot down and uncross. And we're going to lift the hips up and stretch the quads a little bit. Take 3 breaths. And let's take the block out of there and slowly lower down. And we're going to try a little happy baby here. So just lift the legs up and breathe and rock a little side to side. And feel that lengthening of the whole spine. And then let's take our feet together, Baddha Konasana. And a couple more slow breaths. And then we're going to put our feet back down and let's lengthen our legs down on the mat, reach the arms up and breathe. So we're going to flex the feet here, a little pelvic tilt, like you're standing, and reach the arms up, roll the shoulders down, and then bring the arms in a goalpost position and elbows in and out. Just a few. Notice when you're doing this how the shoulder blades are supporting you. They're kind of like our grounding tool here along with the legs and hips. And let's do one more so the arms are back in goalposts and take a few breaths and turn the head slowly to the right and then slowly to the left. So we're tracking the eyes. And we'll come back to the center, bring the arms down, and let's roll over to our side. And we're going to come on up and sit. So let's sit crisscross applesauce and lengthen the arms up, reaching the arms up, and then forward fold. We're going to reach the arms forward and breathe. Let's walk the arms to the right and then over to the left. And back to the center. So as we sit up straight here, let's roll the right shoulder up, back, and away from us, and then the left. And we're going to look over the shoulder as we do this, just kind of loosening the shoulder up. And start to lift the elbow up and keep going. And then all the arm all the way up and back. We're doing our back stroke, lengthening the arms. But we're using our core because we're sitting up tall. And then let's go forward, leading with the elbow. So that helps the shoulder open up. And feel your torso moving at the same time. Now let's reach the arms forward and clasp the hands, hinging forward from the hips and then hinge back. So it's kind of like our rowboats, but our legs are crisscross applesauce. And just see, we're still sitting up tall. Last one. And then we're coming to neutral, arms come up. Let's lean to the side. One side and then the other. Stretching the sides. And then we're going to reach the arms up and twinkle, twinkle little stars with our fingers all the way down. Kind of stretching the fingers, but sit up nice and tall. And we're going to put our hands, the palms facing up on our lap, and just look straight ahead and breathe. Feel how the shoulders are rolling down and our posture is really good. Now we're going to twist to the right. And then over to the left. And then we're coming to the center, right hand down, left arm over. Maybe the forearm comes down. And roll the chest open. And let's go to the other side. So left hand down or the forearm, right arm over. Roll the chest open. And then let's come back up. So now we're going to clasp our hands behind us, roll the shoulders down. We're going to turn just the head to the right. And then over to the left, tracking the eyes. Back to the center, release the hands. And let's come on over to our sphinx pose. So we're going to come on our belly. And lengthen the spine. First of all, we're going to curl the right toes under, lift the leg up a little bit, and then put the leg down. So we're going to do each leg, kind of making that quad press into the mat. And then 3 breaths to lengthen. Breathe into the belly. And let's come all the way down, and we're going to do some cobras. So easy does it. Hands underneath the shoulders, inhaling up, exhaling down. And 2 more. And now we're going to press back into the child's pose. And take a few breaths. Let's reach our arms over to the right and take a breath. And then over to the left. And then back to the center, puppy pose, lifting the hips up and breathing. So we're going to come to hands and knees and do some cat-cows. Again, using the breath. And one more. And then neutral spine. Let's reach the arms up over our head for a little back bend, a little pelvic tilt. And then hands down, we're going to lift up into downward dog. And do a little bending and straightening of each leg. And let's walk to the top of our mat. And we're going to bend the legs a little bit here and let the head release. And let's roll all the way up and reach the arms out and up. Hands to our heart. Twist the upper body to the right and then to the left. Back to the center. Let's take our elbows down again to the thighs. Bend a little deeper into the hip. And then forward fold. Let's step our right leg back into our lunge. So here's the place. If you need the blocks, put the blocks on either side because we want to stretch this out a little bit. Now we're going to step back, downward dog, and lift our right leg up and step it forward. And then the left. And let's roll up again, one vertebrae at a time. Hands to our heart, we're going to twist the upper body to the left and then to the right. Back to the center, elbows back to the thighs. And forward fold. Step the left leg back to that lunge. And then right leg steps back, downward dog. Left leg lifts up and steps forward, and then the right. We're going to try that rolling up again, one vertebrae at a time, reaching the arms up, hands to our heart. Now we're going to lift our right knee up, and we're going to take the knee open out to the right and back to the center 5 times. And then one more. And let's put the right foot down and take a breath. And let's try our left leg, left knee up, and take the knee open and closed 5 times. And we've got one more. And left foot down. Let's hinge forward again, elbows to the thighs. So we're feeling the weight coming into the hips and then into our forward fold. Let's step back to downward dog and take 3 breaths. And let's come into our child's pose, stretching the toes on the way down. So we're going to take our blocks, because I always think we need a little help with this. So we're going to reach our arms up to the end of our mat here, the top of our mat, and our hands are on our blocks. We're in the medium setting for the blocks. We're going to come lift ourselves up to our downward dog using the blocks. And we're doing this so we can work on our lunges. So we're going to lift our right leg up, Step it between the blocks. That was so good. Let's take it back to downward dog and switch. Left leg lifts up. We're stepping it forward. This is like one of those things that we need to always work on. Let's step our left leg back. Switch again. Right leg lifts up. Steps forward. And then back to down dog, and then left leg lifts up and steps forward. Really good. Let's step back, downward dog, and we're going to walk to the top of our mat and keep our hands on the block so we're halfway up. And then release, forward fold. So now we're going to take the blocks on the high setting, since they're already here, walk back to a table stretch, big toes touching. Lengthen the spine. And let's lift the right leg up so we're in warrior 3. Roll the hip down. And take another deep breath. And then put the right foot down, lift the left leg up. So the right leg is supporting us here. Roll the left hip down, take another deep breath. And let's put that foot down, and we're going to walk forward and come into a forward fold. So now we're going to move the blocks out of the way, and let's come all the way up, reaching the arms up, hands to our heart. So we're going to come into dancer. We're going to lift the right knee up and hold the right foot, left arm up. And lengthen and breathe. And then right foot down, let's switch. Left leg up, holding the left foot, and right arm up. And then left foot down. Let's try our Utkatasana. So we're coming back into the hips, reaching forward, come a little deeper, and then forward fold. We're going to walk back to downward dog. And you guessed it, we're going to practice without our blocks here. So we're going to lift our right leg up. Step the right leg forward and reach the arms up in a high lunge. And twist to the right. Cross the left arm over, hands together. And left hand down, right arm up. And let's come back to down dog. And then we're going to switch. Left leg lifts up and steps forward. And then we're going to lift the arms up and come into high lunge. And twist to the left, cross the arm over, hands together. And right hand down, left arm up. And let's come back to down dog. So feel the difference in the length here. We're going to lift the hips a little higher and then come into our plank and back to dog. This time we're going to lift our right leg up so we're in three-legged dog and come into plank. Come back to dog, right foot down, and then switch legs. Left leg lifts up, come into plank, back to dog, and then left foot down. We're going to come back to our plank. And another deep breath, or two. And then let's come all the way down, knees, chest, chin, and let's reach the arms over our head and take 3 or 4 breaths. Just kind of reach the fingers away from you. And remember how we were breathing into the ribs? So we're creating more blood flow in our body. Now we're going to bend the right leg and hold the right foot. And then release. And let's try the left leg. Just bend. And then release. And we're going to press back to child's pose. And let's take a few breaths here. And we're going to sit up on our heels, so if you need your blocks, you could put them on either side of you. Let's twist to the right. And then over to the left. And to the center. And if you want to join me, we're going to lift the hips up as we keep the knees down, stretching the quads. And we're going to sit back on our heels. Reach the arms forward for regular child's pose. And downward dog. And take another couple of breaths. And let's lift our right leg up. We're going to come into warrior 2. And let's use one of our blocks on the inside of our right foot. And see if we can widen the pose a little bit. Come a little deeper. And then reverse. Left arm down, reach the right arm up. And then let's take the forearm down to the right thigh. Left arm over, roll the chest open. Breathe. We're coming back to reverse, left arm down, right arm up. And then fingertips down to the block. Reach the right arm over or left arm over and breathe. Let's come back to warrior 2. Now we're going to straighten the right leg for Trikonasana, triangle. And let's straighten it out and reach to the right, and the block is still there. Fingertips down, left arm up. We're going to grab that block as we come up and hold on to the block over our head and lean to the right and then over to the left. And let's come to the center, and we're going to bring that block down between our legs and come into a forward fold. Just release your head. We're going to move that block over to the left side and then roll up. Reach the arms up, a little back bend. And then let's come into warrior two and turn our left foot out and see how this side feels. And reverse, right arm down, left arm up. Now the forearm comes down to the left thigh, right arm reaches over. Lengthen, roll the chest open. Back to reverse. Now let's take our fingertips down to the block. Reach the right arm over and lengthen. And then warrior two. Now we're going to straighten our left leg. Make the pose a little shorter if you need to for triangle. And reach to the left and fingertips down. So we want to lengthen upwards rather than falling into the side. So that right arm is lifting up. And then we're going to come back up and reach both arms up over our head. And then forward fold. Let's take our arms away from us like downward dog arms. And breathe. Now we're going to walk our arms to the right. And let's come into our right side lunge. You can move that block out of the way and feel the difference in this lunge. Hopefully, after practicing, it feels a little bit more open. And then let's walk ourselves over to a left side lunge. And we're going for that 90 degrees in the left leg. Then we're going to come back to the center and hold the ankles and forward fold for 3 breaths. And let's come all the way up, reaching the arms up. And we're going to come into our downward dog. And feel the difference now in your downward dog and lengthen. Let's try a little up dog. So we're coming forward through plank, looking up, and then knees down. Let's sit back into child's pose. And breathe into the ribs. And we're going to come to our puppy pose, this time putting the elbows down on the mat, hands behind our head, and lengthen. And then clasping our hands, let's bring the forearms down to the mat, and we're going to lift up in a half-arm plank. And just 3 breaths. And then pressing back to child's pose. And let's come on up to downward dog. And walk to the top of your mat. And we're going to come all the way up. And let's bring our hands to our heart and take 3 breaths here. Feel your posture. Now let's try our eagle pose. We're going to cross the right knee over the left knee. Hips are even, and then left elbow over the right, and do our forward fold. Elbows to the thighs. And breathe into your spine. And one more breath. We're coming on up and uncrossing everything. Take a breath. Feel the spine lengthening. Cross the left knee over the right knee. Right elbow over the left and forward fold. And take a few more breaths. And last deep breath. And let's come all the way back up and uncross arms down by our sides. So we're going to lengthen the arms and the fingers. Feel your posture. A couple more slow breaths. So we're feeling grounded. And then let's make our way into our squat. So we've got our blocks if you need it for your squat. And if you can, reach the arms forward, clasping your hands. And let's take 3 more breaths. And then we're going to sit down on our mat. So I'm hoping that your body is feeling okay, because we're going to go right into our breathing mode and use our blocks. So we're going to put one block underneath the mid-back, the bra strap area, and the other one underneath the head where you're comfortable. So we've been talking about this today with the breathing into the ribs. So make sure your head is comfortable and arms are gently out, palms facing up. And as you close your eyes, we're going to feel the lengthening of our breath, slowly coming in and slowly going out. And with a few more breaths, feeling how the chest is lengthening. There's no tension in our neck because our head is supported. Allow gravity to help you open the chest so you can breathe more deeply into the belly, the ribs, and the upper chest. Feel like your breath is the ocean wave, and it's As we inhale, it's lengthening, exhaling, releasing. If you want to practice the Ujjayi breath, just the whispering sound on your exhale, you can feel how your breath is lengthening on the exhale. And with your mind's eye, feel the placement of the blocks underneath you, right on those shoulder blades so they're supported. And we're going to take 5 conscious breaths, slowly, slowly. And if you start to race through the breath, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when we do our practice of yoga, we're really using the movements to get to this part so that we can breathe and relax more deeply. And with your mind's eye and your eyes closed, feel your fingertips. We're going to go through some body parts and just follow my voice. So we're feeling just the fingertips, and then the palms of our hands. Feel like there's beautiful light in our hands, like sun. It's an energy in our hands. And this energy can be used for anything we want. So we're going to use this energy to wish peace for our world. And also for our loved ones and homes and communities and families. So surrounding our loved ones, our communities, our world with this beautiful light. And if your mind wanders, go back to the breath. And we're wishing all of our homes and families and loved ones and communities this light and this peace. As well as wishing ourselves good health and harmony. And now we're going to reach the arms up over our head and just stretch. See if we can lengthen a little bit more. And then gently roll to the side. And we're going to come on up to a seated position and bring our hands to our heart and seal in our practice today together. Let's take a deep inhale and sigh. One more time. Namaste. Thank you, ladies, for coming today.
That was fabulous. Thank you.
Oh, good, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Marian.
Thanks, Marian.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Marian.
All right,
Bye.
you guys. Bye.